New World Order, NWO. A term used to refer to a shadowy group of influential individuals or organizations attempting to take over the world through political and economic means. It is based on the belief that a group of conspirators is working to establish a totalitarian one-world government and eliminate all national boundaries and cultural identity. The middle classes. Most Americans have jobs and pay taxes but don't own much property or control large amounts of capital. Also known as the working class, blue-collar workers, and lower and middle-class families. In the UK, the middle classes are referred to as the white middle classes. In China, they're called the Songtai, while in India, they're known as the Bhadralok. The elite, a term used to refer to an individual or a small group of influential people who possess wealth, power, influence, and prestige. They often come from privileged backgrounds and hold positions of authority in business, politics, the media, religion, and academia. Many are self-made men who rose to their current positions through hard work, talent and drive. On the other hand, the working classes are usually not wealthy. They work for wages and salaries instead of owning businesses or controlling large amounts of capital, and many lack the education and skills to advance beyond their current income level. The rich use their money and influence to gain political power and accumulate wealth. Most were born into wealthy families. They also tend to be white and male. Many believe that an elite group is taking over the world and instituting a new order to replace our present national borders and democratic systems. Simon Webb is a working-class and Jewish YouTuber, and my video is based upon his recent video, "Why Do We Need an Elite?", which you can view here. I am a working-class Jew, and I have spent my entire life being told by the elites that the poor are nothing more than lazy, feckless losers whose only crime was to be born to parents who lived in a country like Britain. In this land, it is supposedly impossible to make a decent living without being part of the upper echelons of the corporate world. Looking at the history of the British Empire, you'll see that the ruling class were almost exclusively from the upper classes. This was because to become a member of the aristocracy, you had to first become successful in business and marry into one of the old aristocratic families. The same is true of the United States, where the ruling class are predominantly wealthy white men who have inherited their riches and hold great power within the political sphere. They are very much a minority among the population in terms of race and gender, and thus we must ask ourselves why the general public has been led to believe that such an elite group doesn't exist today. Simon dislikes the middle classes and hopes they will be wiped away, yet he is just as much a part of them as anyone else. He's part of the working class, and he's a Jew. As far as I'm aware, Jews aren't allowed to join the upper classes. So what exactly does he hope to achieve by wishing them all dead? The fact is that Jews and middle-class people have always been a part of the ruling class. The ruling class can't be comprised of only the elite. There isn't enough room on that high mountain, so the ruling class must include everyone except the elite. It is said that the difference between the working class and the elite is that the elite are well educated and well informed while the working class are ignorant, uneducated, and ill-informed. Simon believes that the working class will inherit the earth once it is cleansed of its impurities. However, if the working class were now the ruling class, how did they lose their status? What Simon is saying seems logical at first glance. The ruling class are a small number of wealthy individuals who use their wealth and influence to control the masses. This would be easy to accept if there weren't so many examples of wealthy people using their power to help those less fortunate. If you get rid of the upper classes with the working classes in their place, you're only going to end up with another ruling class. I think that the real reason that the rich and powerful can do whatever they want is that they know where the skeletons are buried. They've got the keys to the prison cells, and they're welcome inside whenever they like. The ruling class are the only ones that have access to the information that allows them to manipulate the masses, and they're also the only ones that profit from war and conflict. Meritocracy is a myth. You don't need to be intelligent, talented, or lucky to become rich and powerful. All you need is to know someone who knows the right people. If the ruling classes are really as evil as Simon and others like him claim, why do they seem to enjoy giving money and power to those who deserve it? When someone tells me that they're going to take my house away from me and give it to some deserving person who's never worked a day in their life, I tell them to jump off a cliff. It's a ludicrous idea, but it's the sort of nonsense that the elite love to preach. The working class creates wealth and is distributed to the ruling class. The ruling class then spread it back out to the masses. Employers create jobs for the working class and pay taxes to fund government programs and services. The ruling class uses their money and influence to obtain political power and enact laws that benefit the rich and powerful. It's not rocket science to understand how wealth is created and distributed, and it's not hard to grasp why the ruling class would look out for themselves. The working class would be a lot better off if they stopped listening to the ruling class's lies and started thinking for themselves. Many thanks to all those who listen to my YouTube video channel and support my content. I appreciate your time and interest. I believe that the truth is rarely pure and never simple. Life is infinitely stranger than anything which man's mind could invent.